Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shekinah, and this is Shekinah Shines, where through adversity we still shine no matter what. So I'm happy to be back making a video. Today is going to be a little bit of more of a chatty video about just not letting your insecurities inconvenience you, not letting very minor things hold you back from big opportunities. I wouldn't want to say opportunities, but that too. But don't let your insecurities keep you from receiving good things, basically. So I was thinking about just, I'm always thinking about my spiritual journey, and I'm always thinking about how I was maybe a year ago, how I was 2 years ago, and just like comparing it. Even though you shouldn't compare yourself to others, I feel like comparing where you are with where you used to be is not a bad thing, because we've all have grown. If you're not growing or showing some type of difference or growth in like the type of person you are or the way that you may handle situations, then maybe you need to reassess, reevaluate, and figure out like what's going on with all that. So yeah, I was thinking about all of this, and I was thinking about how I just wanted to upgrade my look and kind of look more polished in a way, and not in a way where it's like I love all the different aesthetics. I feel like it's a good way to, of course, like describe your style, but it's a good way to describe your style to other people. And when you're just, I don't know, if you like fashion, then you know. But I was basically trying to find my own aesthetic, and I didn't know what worked for me, like what looked good on me. I was trying just anything that was like trendy, that I felt like, okay, this will look cute. Anything that was kind of really matchy, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get this. And I was like staying away from anything that was just like simple, like straightforward. And yeah, but I started just like trying different looks, from like dyeing my hair darker, because I have dark eyebrows and dark eyelashes and dark eyes. So I'm like, it looks better for me to go towards black hair than light brown or blonde or red brown, all these type of things. And cosmetology is my background, but I am more so like the book smart type of cosmetology girly. I can do anything when it comes to that, but I'm more comfortable with formulas for hair color, how to do things by the book, and how something, like I can look at something and tell you exactly how this person got this hairstyle, this makeup look, even just everything, dealing with beauty. And right now I am an image consultant as well, because I feel like it's the small things, it's the details that really upgrades you. It's not it's not necessarily the money that you put into something. It's the effort more. And that sounds so cliche, but when it comes to something as small, or I mean as big as your looks, you have to pay attention to the small details. You have to be aware of where you may have strengths, where you may need help, or whatever the case may be. I will always advocate that someone try makeup, hairstyle, whatever, hair color, changing something that can be changed back or that can be removed, basically. I would recommend experimenting with that before completely changing your nose or your lips or your eye color. Some people change their eye color, and all respect to anyone that decides to do that, because we all have complete control over our body, and we can do whatever we want. That's why it's a choice. Just like we also have the choice to ignore people that may, or ignore thoughts. A lot of times people that go and make drastic changes, and it's like all of a sudden, it's not really all of a sudden. It's if you have lived a certain way, dealing with always hearing something negative about something that you can't control, then it makes you feel inferior for a long time, unless you decide to intentionally just be like, okay, I'm going to ignore, like, I can use my skin color for my skin tone, for example. Like, it's not a secret that colorism is in the black community. It's not a secret that, you know, people will make fun of someone with a darker skin tone and compare them to things that are not human-like, and things that just are to make you feel inferior. And there's also like a reverse side of that, because it's not so much that this being like dark skin has ruined my life at all. I love my skin. It's more so you can choose to let this be a burden on you and show up as whatever people perceive you to be. You get what I'm saying? Or you can make the intentional choice to be everything that people, you know, said you couldn't be. Like being masculine, being aggressive, being compared to like animals, being compared to, I don't know, just anything that's not what you are, right? Showing up as feminine, as elegant, classy, or just something that, oh, there's no way that you could be this because of how you look. You have to completely change people's perception of the ignorant beliefs that they have rooted in them. You know, it's your job to not only convince yourself and change your perception of you, but it's also your job to change the perception of how you feel around others. You can't change what anybody thinks about you, but you can change how you show up to how you fit into the scene. And that's what I was gonna get at. So I'm chatting about something else, but it all, you know, builds up to the context. So I feel like being the main character in your life, in your story, whatever. People compare life to, they can say it's a simulation. They can say it's all types of weird things, you know. I believe it's about whatever it is that gets you through. Because life is not easy at all. It's not easy at all. There's, like I said, all these isms that are out here to, you know, just kind of make you, just kind of make you feel like you are limited in a way. Like, I can't do this because of whatever this ism, whatever this little thing that was dropped on me. I'm limited to only go, you know, this far or to this part of the set. I like to look at life, my life, as a movie, because some things that I like experience, it's so crazy, but it's not crazy in a way where, you know, it's uncommon or no one's ever heard of it before. But things become crazy to me, like in my life, when I say, oh, my life is like a movie. It's because, like, I don't ever guess that it would ever happen to me. Like, for example, I never thought I would ever talk about this, but like a year and a half ago, I had a weird situation with a stalker, and this was like a coworker, and it was just like a situation, like, if you watch any Lifetime movie, every situation, like, it's always something just so small, accepting an invite or just saying yes to someone that you truly do not know their intentions at all. It can just turn into just chaos. It can just turn into something, you know, potentially dangerous. But I had a coworker. I was working this job. It was an office job. I had a coworker that kind of like pointed me out. I'll say that, like, we worked the same schedule. They would go out of their way to come like speak to me, say hi to me, and I didn't think anything of it. But then they kind of pulled me to the side one time they actually asked me if they could talk to me, whatever. I'm not gonna get into too many details, but this person said that they saw something in me, like they felt a connection to me spiritually, and this was supposed to be, you know, someone that was a pastor, someone part of a church ministry, whatever. And this person wasn't from the US, but I have always had this kind of thing where I can connect with anybody, like as far as like I can have a conversation with anybody no matter what language you speak, just because I am very into language and stuff. Like, I don't know how to speak certain languages fluently, but I know enough about different languages to where I can communicate with you, basically. So it wasn't really even a situation where I couldn't understand this person. But let's just say this: when someone's first language is not English, then it's hard to like read in between the lines of what someone means by this and that. You can only go off what exactly that they say, right? So back to the story. This individual, you know, they invited me to church. They just said, like, you know, like I said, they said they had this connection. They felt like I was someone that had like a light in them that would be useful to their ministry, blase, blase, blase. So fast forward, I'm still working the same office job. I ended up working from home for a while, like almost a year, like, and I had stopped communicating with this person. They had asked for my phone number, and I mistakenly said yes to add me to like a group chat with all of these other women who were part of this church and everything. So like I said, fast forward, I'm working from home, and I had never been to this church. I was just like, we just had this couple interactions just at work or whatever. But I didn't realize this person was stalking me at the time, obviously. And it ended up escalating. And when I say escalating, once I became curious, because if someone like invites you to church enough times, then you're going to be like, okay, let me go check it out. Even if like at that point, because you know, we're all at different points in our spiritual journey. Some people are not in a particular church. I'm not in a particular church with my husband right now, but doesn't change how I feel about the Most High regardless. But at this time, I had just moved to the city, so I was still kind of like, we were looking for a church and stuff. So I had told my husband about it, and I kept on saying, like, you know, let's go visit this church that my coworker invited me to, blase blase. And then I started asking my coworker about when their service was, you know, the address, the time, all of that. And they would make it so complicated to where I felt like I was pulling teeth for answers. And it was always an excuse that they were renovating, that it was this and it was that. So come to find out, I don't believe, after doing my own research and having to block this person and text this person and let them, their wife, and all of their associates know that they need to stop contacting me. And if they continue to contact me, it is cyber stalking, because I do not accept any communication from them, because that's how like bad it got. But this group chat, right, that this small little thing of me saying, yeah, I'll be a part of the group chat, yeah, you can have, you know, this is just a minister, this person is a person of God, whatever. So that's what they were saying to me, and I just, you know, whatever. This small thing that I thought that was small ended up being a very obsessive situation, where I found out later on that this person had me in a group chat with multiple phone numbers. I'm saying this is a group chat with like at least 10 people, and there's all supposed to be women. But I found out that basically all of these phone numbers were like fabricated or created from like WhatsApp accounts, or, you know, it was like one of them type of situations. But this sick, weird individual went out of their way to take time to make multiple accounts to text me very deep, weird spiritual stuff and traumatic stuff at that. I never shared anything personal with them, and that's one thing that I am glad I did not. But they went out of their way to just basically feed me all of this stuff, because I kept on saying yes to whatever like they offered. feeding me all of this stuff that I did not want or ask for. And they were just like so determined to do it that they just made a couple different accounts. And it wasn't just one person, like I said, like the 3 people I named or whatever. But I don't think y'all like understand like the weirdness that comes from that. And then even after the situation, I asked them to stop contacting me, it got worse. Where these people was popping up and showing up or whatever. So yeah. And for the reason, I still don't know why. Like I made a video before about energy vampires, energy hearts and stuff like that, but at the time I was trying to be a low-key person, like just stay out the mix. So it was just, everything was new to me. But looking back and just understanding like how everything went down, I would never. The me now, like, you cannot, I'm good. I can say no, thank you. Like, I'm good. Me, then, I, was very, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, you haven't shown me anything that's sneaky, that's weird. So I'm just going to accept that you're not sneaky or weird. But you got to look at things from if you're a main character. Because it's like, if at that time I did not take myself as seriously, I was just like, okay, let me be a regular girl, let me just stay back, let me just blah 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 work on. I was like into writing and stuff like that. But the precautions I take now, just little stuff by like when you get in the car, you lock the doors automatically, just like as a lady, because you ain't got time. You just ain't got time. But during this time, like I was lacking little things, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I look nice at work, or I may be friendly to different people, or I may be outgoing, or I may seem like very harmless or just very inviting, like basically. When I thought of myself like that, then I feel like I was getting attacked more, or people like were more bold without how they came at me or whatever. One day I'm gonna have to do a story time on this, because like it's so crazy. I even had to do like multiple voice recordings like on my phone, like when this actually was going down, because I couldn't believe it. And it's like sometimes you go through things that are just so, it's spiritual warfare, but at the same time the situation in the physical is so like a movie. It's like, if I don't document this, if I don't write this in a journal or something, I'm gonna look back and be like, nah, they ain't really did what they did. They ain't really try it like I thought they tried it. So yeah, let this be I don't know, fast forward it, rewind it back if you need to, like listen to my mini story again to get what I'm talking about. But all I'm saying is like this was a year and a half ago. And whew, just every time I think about it, it kind of like gives me chills. So I'm proud of myself that I was able to like get that part out at least. But the light is kind of changing. But where I am now, like the man that I have now, he's the same man, that is just so protective of me, and just really got me to where like I wouldn't have to be in a situation like that anymore. That I'm grateful. It's like me taking myself seriously enough to where I'm like, okay, I can work a good job, I can work in an office environment, but if I interact with these type of people just because they say that they're nice, basically, I might end up in these weird situations based off just believing someone is nice, because of how naive I am, or how naive I was. But yeah, the all these things, or all these people like you come across in your life, it seems like almost like so dramatic. Things are just so dramatic. You're like, why is people making such a big deal out of little old me? Why is people really on this weird stuff with little me? But you gotta look at your little old self like, you know, as something that is small and precious and that needs to be handled with care. Because if you don't, you will end up in some very dangerous situations. And when I say it like that, I'm not saying like, oh, beware. I'm saying it is, the more you take yourself seriously, the more you're going to trust your intuition. And the first moment somebody start doing some weird stuff, like the other day, when I say the other day, this was, I can't even remember what day this was, but I was at the store and I'm at the counter and I'm just waiting to check out, blah blah blah, you know, at the cashier. This person was standing beside me looking at like the display thing that was beside me, and I don't know where this incubant I don't know what that word means, but y'all gonna get where I'm going at. I don't know where this person came from, but they were standing beside me and they just stood next to me. They just like, have you ever had somebody come beside you and they like sniff you, but it's not just like, oh, you smell good. It's like they literally inhale your essence, your whole aroma. And if you never had it happen, maybe I'm tripping, but if you have had it happen, you're like, bro, what the fuck? Every time somebody has done that to me, I look at them like, what? But yeah, this time recently where this random stranger is being weird beside me, the old me would literally panic, have a panic attack, and probably fight this person. But the me now, I have grown, and I'm just like, you know what? I ain't about to, you know, get my dress dirty. I'm not about to mess up my makeup and my hair. And of course, you know, as my spirit team always has me, somebody yelled at him, like the cashier, another cashier was like, hey, I can get you up here. Hey, I can get you up, you know, snap out of it, like, leave this lady, nice lady alone. So, you know, handle yourself with care, you know. Put yourselves in environments where you are the star, where you are the person that people are careful with, basically, you know. Putting yourself in those, you know, areas or spaces is going to give you the ability to truly shine. And as always, through adversity, no matter what, remember to shine on. Love y'all. Peace.